My dad started out as a landscaper. I grew up helping him, sort of doing the same things I'm doing now. We learned to work hard and that it was important to work and be proud of what you're able to do.
Laboring long days for just over minimum wage leaves Sharon Gardner desperately short of both money and time. Between her job and the countless hours it takes to be a mother, it is an endless struggle to support herself and her children alone.
I can let go of the anger about my marriage ending. I'm participating in a Workforce program through social services in order to receive some financial assistance. Going and asking for food stamps or Medicaid, it feels bad. It feels really bad. I can't make it on what I'm making with landscaping, but it's the only job I can do for right now. It works because I have done it. I have paid for their medical and for their food, and we didn't have anything. It took every dime to pay for childcare so that I could get a job, and then the car would break down, and I'd have no money to fix the car with, and then no way to work, and I'd have to walk to work. Well, it's definitely a struggle from day to day. Got some big pieces of chicken in it. We ate a lot of bologna sandwiches, a lot of peanut butter sandwiches, and I saw my kids get underweight. And when you see your kids underweight, then that makes you not afraid, not ashamed to ask for someone's help.
Come in. I tried to give you enough juice so the children will have snacks.
And thank you. You know, these come in handy. I feel bad. I'm like, I'm working. I shouldn't have to come to get a handout. I should be able to go to the store, you know, and buy what we need. And you look at your paycheck and you have all these intentions of what you would like to do or what you could do, and then you don't have the money to do it, and then I have to end up here, you know, getting it from Sister Grace because, you know, the kids have to eat and you do need food. So you have to put pride aside and say, well, Sister Grace, I'm in need. Can you help me this month? And then, you know, I have to come and do this.
Alexis Bond has a full-time job answering telephones at the New Jersey State Courthouse.
You got more?
Her husband, James, works 10 hours a day in a hot and noisy hospital kitchen. In spite of their 2 full-time incomes, the family is often short on food, clothing, and other basic necessities. A devastating period of unemployment several years ago has left them reeling to this day.
I was on the job for 8.5 years. The facility I was working at shut down. I didn't find a job right away. And then 1 week went by, and then 2 weeks, then a month, and 2 months.
I grew up here in San Diego, been 41 years now. When I was growing up, I was thinking about making a good living like my parents did, just living, you know, just working, you know, paying the bills and having a good life, I guess. I think after I got married and started having kids is when I realized that, you know, you need a whole lot of money to do that.
After 5 years on the job as a dispatcher at a security firm, Ralph Armas takes home about $300 a week. In San Diego, like many places around the country, rents have skyrocketed. Most of what Ralph earns is spent keeping a roof over his family's head. The best roof he can afford.
Where's that Joshua? He's hiding again, isn't he?
Yeah, like always.
Josh. We're a family of 4, and we're renting actually a 1-bedroom studio apartment. You know, it doesn't even really have a bedroom. It just has a living room and a small little kitchen and a bathroom, and that's it.
When you're young, you know, you think, well, you know, get married, have family, and everything's going to be just perfect, and it's not like that. And now we struggle, and now the kids are seeing that, and they're growing up with that.
Let's see. Did you get your drink?
Did the boys eat already?
No.
Even people that we think don't have money, mostly everybody spends at least, you know, $200 a week on groceries. We probably barely get by with $50 a week, sometimes even less.
It's hard for me because I'm the mom, and when they're hungry, they come to me, and they're like, Mom, I'm hungry. I'm just like, oh my God, you know, when I don't have like something to make.
Joshua, how did you do on your spelling test today?
I got a B.
You wouldn't get raises at work, but the cost of living kept going up. So finally one day we found ourselves where we couldn't even pay our rent in a 2-bedroom apartment anymore. And we were actually homeless for a few months. That's one thing that my boys would never forget, and they're even embarrassed about it now. They say, oh, you know, don't tell nobody we were homeless for that period of time, but we actually were. So, you know, we've been there, you know, where we actually didn't have our own place to stay.
I don't think that kids should be raised in poverty. I feel for any kid because it's not their fault.
I don't have health insurance. My work offers it, but I don't have it because it would cost me about $180 each month out of my paycheck. What's going on? I need that $180 to pay my rent, to pay my car, and you know, for other expenses, I can't get health insurance only because I can't afford it. And I can't go get assistance even now because of the fact that I'm making $10 an hour. They think, well, you're making $10 an hour, you can afford your own health insurance, but the reality of it is you can't.
For several years, Alexis worked at a neighborhood school which allowed her to get home at the same time as her kids. But with the family in need of every possible dollar, she took a higher-paying job, a long walk and 2 bus rides from home. Now, the children must come home to an empty apartment.
The area that we live in is far from the best.
At night.
Drugs
trying
and
to
gangs
sleep.
are right
you hear
across
the
street.
sirens.
You hear sirens at night, or you hear gunshots.
Say hi, fire hydrant. Say hi, lights.
You almost become a prisoner in your house because you don't spend time outside. You don't spend time in the community because of the safety issue.
See the green bush and the tree with no leaves.
Oftentimes they say, Mommy, when are we gonna mow? Mommy, when are we gonna find a better place to mow?
I have to pay rent, utility bills, a phone bill. The biggest bill I have is food. And even though I get food stamps, we're out of food stamps by the 2nd week. So I have to make choices. I can't afford to pay $15, $20 for the kids' clothes. But I can come here and get shirts, pants for 25 cents. And that's where most of the clothes come from. If you want this one? Sure. The kids don't like to come here. They wouldn't want any kids from school to see that they had come in here. They don't want to be ridiculed. They don't want to be pushed aside and not fit in. Check it out. It's green, Everett. It's fine. I can put something on this. I can sew a patch on it that has your name on it. It's got a place for pencils.
I was always doing retail, working at stores, retail stores. You know, you get paid minimum wage. If I'm gonna spend all my money paying for the babysitter and for the car payment, the insurance payment, well, I'm not gonna have nothing left, you know? So I wanted something that would be better. I just decided to go to the financial aid office and get an application and see if I qualified for a grant. And of course I did. So I decided to come back to college and at the same time working part-time and make some little bit of money. It's a lot, but it's worth it. I don't know, I think that it's worth it. Right now, you know, we struggle. But I know that once I get a better paying job, it's gonna be a lot easier for me and our family financially.
I hope that my children are all safe and happy. I want them to be God-fearing, loyal, trustworthy, honest to themselves and others. I work hard for them because I love them, because God expects me to, and I feel this responsibility towards my children and the community. I'm dealing with social services with the First program to make ends meet, and I'm not sure what's going to happen when that ends. It's kind of scary. I know there's a way, and where there's a will, there's a way. I think my parents taught me that. Where there's a will, there's a way.
We keep telling the kids it's going to get better, and that's what I'm hoping for, that things will get better, you know, because we tell our kids that, and they're believing our word. They're believing us. Tell them some good ones, Jess. We've had like hard times, and we'll just sit and talk, and we say, let's do it for the kids. You know, whatever we do, let's do it for the kids.
I think the biggest fear is going back to where you were. Going back to where things were when it was so bad.
Watch it back.
And my other one is probably staying where we are. Because where I am now, I don't want to be. I'd like this family to move on, to progress.
I have a home where the kids are happy and comfortable. Those things are important, not luxuries, just a home. You know, where we can have barbecues in the backyard and the kids can go out and play, you know, in a nice, secure neighborhood. It's rough right now, but it's gonna be okay after a while.